Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Yes. So nice to have you here. So nice to be here,
It
actually.
is.
Yes, we've had another crazy week, to say the least.
It has been
Oh,
crazy.
yes.
Really energetically crazy, 3D crazy,
Planetary crazy? Like
planetary
they're all
crazy.
going nutty too.
Yeah,
Yes, a lot going on.
yeah.
And I have to say, Mary Lynn was you heard us last week. If you listened to it last week, we talked about Nathan.
Hmm.
And Nathan and Mary Lynn are taking over the paranormal piece
Hmm.
at TCS.
Right.
And Mary Lynn said, Nathan said something today that I really liked. And she said it, and I was like, oh, that's our topic for today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, sorry, I don't remember his exact verbiage. I don't remember in which order he said it, and it really doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Shall I spill the
Yes.
beans?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Um, you really can't plan it. You just have to be prepared for it.
Yes. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. And that crosses, he was talking spiritually. He was talking with the paranormal, with spiritual, I believe, right? Isn't that what you said?
I believe so.
Yeah, you were talking that, but it really that just covers
It
life,
covers so much in life.
just life.
Yeah.
And maybe he was talking about all parts of his life. Um,
Um,
but
yeah.
holy shit,
You
I was
know,
like, yes,
and that falls right in line with what Cowboy said to me so very long ago of be prepared for what you wish for.
yes,
Don't be careful
right.
about what you wish for, but be prepared for what you wish for.
Mhm.
And, we wish for things that we have absolutely no idea what it's going to look like
No,
until, of course, we put expectation on it.
yeah, yes,
Um, but that prepared piece
yes.
is so important. And
It's part of being a participant in your own life. It's part of
it,
being a participant in
yes,
your
it is.
own spiritual walk.
Yes, it is.
To be prepared. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are many of you out there, because been there, who are saying, well, how do I know what to prepare for? Right? That's a big question. Well, how the hell do I know what to prepare for if I don't know what's coming?
Right?
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
And if you've never been where you're going, how do
how,
you prepare?
yes, yes. Well, you trust and you listen. Spirit is giving us the blueprint all the time. We just, are you getting chills over there?
I have physical goosebumps. Um,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I
We trust and we listen.
yes,
And yes, it is that simple. And it's a learned process.
it's a learn. Absolutely.
It is a very learned process of how to trust, how to listen, how to communicate, how to ask the questions of spirit, of ourselves,
Yes.
to be honest with ourselves. Um, mhm.
One of the things that spirit does is brings us information through daydreams.
Mm.
This is something that spirit has done with me my whole life. And it was and this and I swear to you, this is the truth. I really didn't get it until recently. I didn't connect the dots until very recently. Oh, that's how spirit prepares me. Oh, I get it. That's how I practice. Like certainly
Okay.
and it's true. Let's say with the paranormal, because that's sort of an easy one, right? It's like how have you learned how to work with those dark entities? Like you don't come across them all the time.
Right.
They're not in every house clearing. They're not like, how have you learned? Spirit prepared me. Spirit prepared me through daydream. They and I say they because spirit to me when it comes to the paranormal is I've got a lot of help.
Well,
Yes.
yeah,
And even the entities themselves have helped.
sure.
So one of the ways that I get prepared or I have been prepared for that walk is exactly how I'm being prepared now to move into the dark magic walk, to how my like how the hell am I supposed to break spells and how am I supposed to do all of this and how am I supposed to do this whatever because I don't know how to do that.
Right.
Well, spirit prepares me. Spirit brings
Yes.
me. And now part of why I didn't know is because I'm not real clairvoyant. My other clairs are my claircognizant is my number one. And so when I daydream, it's more visual. So there's more clairvoyance there.
Hmm.
And spirit brings me daydream. What I think are just daydreaming, and I just kind of go, well, whatever. But no, you participate in those daydreams,
Right.
and that's for me. That's how spirit prepares me. If that makes sense to anyone, and I hope it does.
Well, it makes sense to me.
And
So,
you're the one that's sitting here with me. Yes. So if
oh my
anything
gosh.
might come in a different way, certainly for people, but that's
Right.
a big one. You are prepared, or
Right.
spirit
It
brings
could
her.
come in sleeping dreams as well.
Yes, absolutely. Lessons, the lessons, getting triggered, getting a
Yeah.
healing, getting all of that, you are preparing for what's coming next.
Hmm. Really finding yourself consciously walking your spiritual life
Yes,
is preparing you
yes,
and being, like you said, an active participant in it.
yes.
It is preparing you for whatever's coming,
Mhm.
for whatever your hopes and your dreams are. Um,
I realize that Mari-Lyn and I, our life is different than most of you. Most of you are not out, doing what we do. However, with that said, it's still part of that is still our job, and everyone has a job. And when
mhm.
you're being prepared to move up in your job, things start happening. Like things start maybe not going so well, or maybe they do go well. Something comes across your desk that opens your eyes to something, or a new employee comes in, or you have a really asshole customer that comes up. Like we would, earthies and low
Right,
vibrational beings are our customers.
right,
They
right.
be really mean. And everyone prepares you for the next thing. Everything prepares you for the next step in your spiritual. And everything we do is spiritual. Everything.
Everything,
So
everything.
it's about being prepared, allowing yourself to be prepared, allowing yourself to just receive, and trust is a huge
And part of that is awareness, right? We have
yes,
to be aware
yes,
of our surroundings, of our actions, of our thought processes.
yes,
Um, Sometimes that awareness can be really painful because we realize that we are living back here.
yes.
And when we're living back here, I'm sorry, we are not prepared for what's going to happen up here.
That is the truth.
But we're still moving,
We're still moving. Hmm.
even though it feels and it can be quite the conundrum. Um, but that awareness is that spirit knocking on your door saying, hello.
And something else too. This is all what comes because we talk about this all the time, manifesting.
Right.
We're manifesting all the time. Spirit is manifesting
Right.
forth. I am manifesting my new purpose, and I don't even know what the hell it is really. I kind of know, but I don't really know. I was scrolling through YouTube the other day, and there was a video, had hundreds of thousands of views. Manifest anything today. And there were in the same person. So I looked at her thing, looked at some of her videos. Let me manifest it for you. And all of the, so of course, I had to watch one of the videos because I wanted to
Yep.
see what bullshit. I'm sorry, but what a crock of shit you're getting people believing in this craziness. I'm sorry, but I thought no, and one of the first things she said, every one of you is going to manifest exactly what you want by the time this video's over. And I thought,
Okay.
well, I said a few things, choice words,
Okay.
that are not becoming, but yet, like, stop. Just stop. It's about really, you want to manifest your best life. It doesn't come from your ego. And that's where this whole I'm going to manifest all this stuff. I'm going to write everything down. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do whatever. And I'm going to do all these tricks and things that this woman tells me to do.
Mm-hmm.
That all comes from your ego. That's not where manifesting comes from.
Mm.
It pissed me off. And
I wish I'd have been there.
I know. And I purposely did not forward the video to you. Yes, because it was just redunculous
Oh
that
my gosh.
and when we let our ego decide what our best life is, I guarantee you it's not going to be your best life. I guarantee
No.
you you are never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be at a place of balance and beauty and compassion and love and kindness and all of that that it encompasses.
Mm-mm.
You're going to constantly be disappointed. It's going to get here, and then you're going to be like, "Oh, is this it? Well, I want more." And so there's a constant thing. It's really about
Mm-hmm. And
receiving. Yeah,
sometimes it'll get here and you won't recognize it because it didn't look like what you thought it was supposed to look
that's
like.
true. Yes, that happens to me all the time. When my ego gets in the way and I say, "Oh, I know where I'm going. I know what this is going to look like. Ooh, yay." And then it gets her, it's like, "Oh shit." It's typically when that happens, oh, it's better than we expected.
Typically.
Mhm.
Typically.
Yes. But when your ego gets involved and says, "Oh, it should look this way," you're always going to be disappointed.
Always.
Yes. So
Mm.
being prepared because we
Yeah.
don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know.
Mm-mm.
Spirit knows, and spirit brings it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
There
always
was
better.
there was also something he said about being spontaneous,
Yes. Okay.
um, which goes to that planning piece. Because
Hmm.
when we start planning,
Yes.
guess what gets
Yes.
involved? The
Yes.
ego.
Yes.
The ego gets involved. And when we can allow ourselves to be spontaneous,
Mhm.
we are more likely to be led,
Yes.
to let spirit guide us, and then to listen to what we need to do. Um,
I will say something though,
yeah.
that we have to be careful with spontaneity because there are those of us who are wounded and traumatized and doing that knee jerk thing. We can call spontaneity, but it isn't. We're just running from something we should be looking at. You're talking about real being open to changes that are coming, being open
Yes.
to, oh, spirit just opened a door for me. I'm going to walk through that door.
Yes. Yes. And you're absolutely right.
Thank you.
Absolutely right. That knee jerk reaction of old behavior, of wounding, not spontaneous.
Yeah.
Knee jerk.
Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
I did that most of my life thinking, and nothing ever worked out. It was always great at first, and then it's kind of what's coming through. And Lynn, I love you, but I had she actually died this past year. She
Mm-hmm.
was a sister-in-law that
Right.
ex-sister-in-law. She and my brother had been divorced for a long time, but she had been married like 6 or 7 times or something, right? And that's that knee jerk. Obviously, not all of you are going to do that, but that's what came to mind when I was thinking about you. Just sort of jump in because I'm uncomfortable right now because of some wounding, and I'm just going to because it makes me feel so good. There's this illusion that it's spontaneous and fun and yay, and then you end up married 7 times and then 7 divorces.
Spirit was just bringing me some memories of being a young woman
Hmm.
and being very spontaneous, um, of looking out for myself and for doing what I wanted.
Yes.
And because of wounding, of allowing that spontaneity to be turned into knee jerk
Oof.
isolation,
Yes.
which turned into knee jerk codependency.
Ouch. Hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anything about codependency. So, you're on your own with that one. Okay, for all of you, that was sarcasm. For any of you who didn't
Um,
get that.
very interesting though how they showed me that, of a period of my life, um, as a very young adult
Mhm.
ish.
Ish.
And I say ish because I really don't think we're adults until we're, you know, I don't
Yeah,
know,
50.
35 and over,
I was gonna say 50.
depending, 50. Um, how I had stepped out of codependency and into myself, into spontaneity,
Mhm.
and then boom, I allowed it to be stripped away. No, they are correcting me. I did not allow it to be stripped away. I laid it down. I
Yeah.
laid it down. I turned it in
Yes.
for codependency.
Mhm. Oof. Sorry about that.
Damn.
Hmm. But yeah,
Wow.
right?
That's blowing my mind right about now.
Yes. There's also what comes, I don't know if this relates to you or they're just bringing it to me. Um, Sort of the opposite of that is being too controlling. I have to control everything that's going on in my life. I have to control like my day because we all have like those days that are just like, oh shit, I am busy today. And you really
Yes.
have to schedule.
Yes.
But there are people who are so controlling, which comes from trauma.
Yeah.
They control when there's nothing going on. And
Yes.
that's probably when they feel more out of control, right? And there's no room for spontaneity. There's no room to breathe. It's really what's coming is that feeling of I can breathe and
Mm-hmm.
something comes and we just go ahead and do it. It's not when we're holding our breath. That's not spontaneity.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Mm.
I must be saying something right because I'm getting really warm.
Oh, I'm sitting over here. I am I am freezing
Oh,
and sweating.
oh,
And I hate that
yes,
conundrum.
yes,
Um, this is an uncomfortable topic. That memory that they brought me is just like, oh my
yes,
gosh.
yes,
And the lessons that I have learned because of that choice,
yes.
wow.
Yeah,
Just wow.
just wow.
It's astonishing to me. Um, because what they're kind of showing me is had I just continued on in that That's, I wouldn't have. They're showing me I would not have. There is no way, because of what I came into this life to learn
Huh?
and to do with
Yes.
my life.
Yes.
There is no way that I could have stayed in that energy, but I needed to be able to be shown what that looked like.
Yes. Well,
Mhm.
every, if every one of us, when we look back at our life, we can say, why did I do that? Why did that happen? Why? You are being prepared for what you have to do now. You're being prepared for what's coming. You were being prepared. I no longer look back at my abusive childhood and go, why me? What? There was a time when I did. I was a real victim. But now it's to prepare me for where I'm going.
Mhm.
It's to prepare me for what I'm in right now
Yep.
and where I'm headed. Everything I went through, I can look back and go, oh, wow, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see where that prepared me for
Mhm.
this. It's amazing. Spirit sets us up perfectly. Spirit is totally has our backs and has set us
Totally.
up. We have set, and we asked for it, right? We chose this life.
We chose it.
We chose
Absolutely.
all the shit that we wanted to
Absolutely.
go through.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
It was what was it? Just a couple weeks ago. We've had so much happen in the past couple weeks. Uh I was sort of some fear, some where I'm going, there was some fear there, and my mother, whom I have who's been passed away for a while. Um, you've all heard me talk about it. A lot of mom wounds. Mari-Lyn has helped me through a lot of those. My mom would come in spirit, and I'd be like, "Get out of here!" And finally, let her in. And I did a lot of work, etc.
Mhm.
This was the first time she came in the way she came in. I was sort of in that place of it's always doubt. If you're in fear, it's because you're doubting spirit. Period.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There's no way around it. If you're fear, and we're not talking about some physical thing like some big tiger is about to chomp your head off. Okay, that's
Right.
not the same fear.
That is real fear.
That is real fear.
That is real fear.
Um, but when you fear, it's because you're doubting spirit.
Yeah.
Well, I was in that place of a little bit of fear. How am I going to do this? Well, blah, 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 blah. And my mother, the spirit who was my mother, now she did not come in as my mother. She
Hmm.
came in as the spirit who was my mother
Right.
in this lifetime. And she told me, that's what I prepared you for what you're about to go through. Every abuse, everything I did to you,
Mhm.
you're ready. I did my job well. Thanks, bitch. But this, but yes, but she did. She prepared me for, oh, something just came for you. She prepared me for what I'm going through. Yes. What are you getting? I can tell that look on your face.
Um, it was, it was, yeah, my sister.
Oh, yes.
I've been trying to tell you.
Yes.
I've been trying to tell you. Yeah.
Hmm. Everything you've been through in your life prepares you. And it may not look,
Yeah.
you may look at it and go, well, how the hell did that prepare me for this? It did.
It
There is
did.
a thread there. There
Yeah.
is a thread. Like for me, like, what the hell do I have to be scared of? Like, bitch, you know what I've been through? Like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Like, no, I've been there, done that. I've
Yeah.
been in that misery. I've been in that abuse. I've been in that trauma. Been there. I got myself out of it along with spirit. and a few beautiful friends, of course, but it's your own resolve that gets you through it. Healed it. Yeah, what do I have
Yeah.
to be afraid of now?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't need to go into the whole story, but it is around being lied to.
Yes.
Um, and she's saying,
Yes. Boy, that lands.
you you learned, you learned how to detect lies, and you learned that it's not a reflection on yourself. It has nothing to do with me.
No.
And I know what to do with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sis.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are all prepared. So all of you sitting there wondering why all that crap happened to you as a child. Maybe you're still going through some of it. We have some younger people who watch and
Yep.
listen to us as
Yes.
well. And
Yes.
you're sitting there wondering, why are you going through this? Why did these things keep happening? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
Um, you're being prepared. That's
Hmm.
you allowing yourself to be prepared. And part of being prepared is being a participant, as you always say,
Yep.
participating in that, participating in your own healing, participating in this own journey, participating in, you see that thumbs up on the screen?
Yeah.
Somebody is saying, that has happened before. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Spirit.
Yes.
For those of you who are just listening and not seeing us here on, yeah, there was just
Yeah, that's right. Because not everybody sees this.
no, there was
Um,
stuff, and hopefully that when we edit, that won't get taken away, but we'll see.
yeah, hopefully that will still be there. That
Yeah.
little thumbs up of how important it is to be an active participant. Man,
Yes,
it's critical.
it's very critical.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So for all of you who are in that place, all of you who are feeling victimized, which I used to be the biggest victim ever. Oh God, I look back and it just grosses me out that I was like that, but I was. But it all prepared me.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting in victimhood right now, you're wondering, why is this happening to me? Or why did this happen? And you're sort of licking your wounds. You're being prepared, and your job is to look at that. Why are you feeling like a victim?
Hmm.
Why did this situation? Now, I never blame a victim, so don't misunderstand my verbiage here. Um, I do not blame the victim. Whatever happened to you, you were a victim. If you are out of that situation, you are no longer the victim.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, being
Right.
clear of the abuse or whatever happened, and you're now sitting in it with the vibration of a victim. Why me? Why me? Why me? This always happens to me.
Hmm.
That's the place that I'm talking about. Look at it. What
Yeah.
can
Look
you
at it.
do?
Be honest. And
Yes.
what is it that you are doing or aren't doing
Yes.
that's keeping you in that perpetual motion?
Yes.
Because we have choices.
We certainly do.
We have choices. There are ways out of it.
And if
Um,
this comes through too, sorry, didn't mean to cut, boy, I've been cutting you off. But
no, you had
um,
no.
is when you have a friend, a coworker, a someone that goes, God, you're such a victim. Stop it. I've had that happen before and it hurts, but listen to that. That's the way other people are perceiving you,
Mhm.
and there's something there to look at. There is
Every
something
time.
there to look at every time. I
Every time.
Yes, my beautiful friend here has, I don't think it's happened for a while, but we'll bring that to my attention. And before Mari-Lyn, when I was really a victim, I had done a lot of work before we met. Um, I remember people doing that to me and they didn't want to be around me. They're like, ugh, God,
Mm.
just get over it. Would you just get over it?
Yep.
Those words hurt. They do. And part of the reason they hurt is because you really don't clearly have a grasp on the fact that
Right.
your energy is so victimy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Um, Stop being so sensitive is what I would
Oh,
hear.
I
Now,
hate that one.
sometimes, right, that is used as a control
That's a gaslighting thing
thing,
to say.
very gaslighting.
Yeah.
However, when you hear it from multiple people
Yes.
around a similar scenario,
Yes. And not your abuser.
right,
Yeah.
um, there's something to it here.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean I'm not supposed to be so sensitive? Well, because it has nothing to do with you.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
And sometimes, and so what brings back is, let's say I'd be in that victimy thing because, mom, there's something happened. My siblings might come to me and say, Pam, just stop being so, just get over it, just or whatever. What they were really saying was, everything is so uncomfortable in the house. Mom is on a rampage. If you would just get the F over it, we would all be fine. But she's going
ah,
to come after us if you don't stop. Of course, then I
right.
didn't know that. I can look back now and see that. But still, I I was pretty young, but at an older age, when people would say, there was a moment when I went, there's some truth to that. They may be saying it for a selfish reason, but
Mhm.
yeah, I need to look at what I'm doing right now, how I'm expelling this energy, what energy am I in, what is this vibration, etc.
Mhm.
But no one here is listening to us that is like 8 years old. So,
Right. Right. But what you just explained is how am I what energy am I
yeah,
expelling and how am I acting? That is part of being an active participant.
yes, it is.
Mhm.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So was finally a time when I needed to look at me when someone said that, and they would trigger me, it would hurt me.
Mhm.
But there was truth to that. I was sitting in
Sure.
some shit and people didn't want to be around me. I didn't want to be around me. Do you want to be when you're in that victimhood? Oh, yeah. No one you know when you finally get to that point where you're sick and tired of yourself?
And you can't get away. There's
Right.
nowhere to go.
It's time to do something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But
Yeah.
being an active
Crazy. Oh,
participant, that's how you prepare yourself
yeah.
for for whatever's coming.
Or whatever.
Yes.
Just being prepared. And letting go of control. I think that was a really important piece of that too,
Yes.
of letting go of that
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
allow yourself the spontaneity and
Yes.
some wiggle room,
Yes.
um, and letting go of expectation because plans,
Oh,
I mean, sometimes things need to be planned to a certain extent,
great.
but we start adding all of these expectations in and we leave no room
None.
for that plan to shift and change. It breaks.
Yes.
It just breaks.
And what do we talk about all the time? The way you manifest in your life is by staying in motion, right?
Emotion.
And
Yes.
that's kind of another word for being spontaneous,
Yes.
or at least it's a piece of the puzzle,
It's a piece of the puzzle for sure because
not being too stringent and controlling.
right, right. Um, that rigid plan is so uh,
Right.
immovable.
Yes. And you've heard us talk many a times. When I do that, Fred will come in and say, would you stop? You're not giving me any room to create here. Your focus is so narrow. There's no room there.
Mhm,
There's no
mhm.
room for me to work and bring you beautiful things and to manifest what you're meant to have
Right.
because you are trying to control it. You're narrowly thinking about it.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. We need to
There's
have,
no room to breathe, even.
yes.
Right. Ugh.
Yeah. One of
Sorry.
us,
We need to
no,
have what?
one of us needs to have I think you all need on this channel need to meet Nathan. He's amazing. So one of us needs to do a podcast with him, I think at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah. Or all three of us do a podcast together.
Oh, yeah. You know how that here's a point of I wouldn't say contention for us, but I'm such a talker and sometimes and Nathan is a talker and he and I could get talking and leave you out, not purposefully, but
May I correct you?
yes,
Other people get to talking and I fold in and I remove myself from the conversation.
that's true.
That's my problem. That's my problem.
It's your problem.
I would like to think that's a problem that I have, for the most part, worked out.
Well, you know what? We should have Nathan on and see.
I think we should.
I think we should.
I think we should.
Awesome. I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah, I do too.
Just,
He is so.
and Nathan, I know you're listening, and I hope you're blushing right now.
Well, he might now, because I was going to say he's so easy. And I mean that in the most kind and compassionate way. He's very easygoing.
Yes.
He's so easy to have a conversation with.
Yes.
And one thing that I do love about him is that there are times where he wants to be so thoughtful about what he's saying.
Yes.
Is that he just pauses.
Yes.
And I just love it. I love working with him.
That's an area where I have had to really work hard on. So when Mari-Lyn and I started 3 years ago on YouTube, we really we worked out our shit right in front of everybody.
Very much.
I could not stand having a break or like silence.
Silence, right.
And I would just try to fill that space up with verbiage. And Mari-Lyn went the other way. Like she was very extra thoughtful about her words.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wouldn't interrupt you for nothing.
No, and I would constantly interrupt you.
And trying to I'd have something to say and I'm waiting for a break and I'm waiting for a break and there's not. And so I'm just like, oh, well, now that was 3 topics ago. I can't now.
Yes. And I'd be like, Mari-Lyn, I come from a big Italian family. You don't butt in. You don't get to say what you want to say. Like, it's totally okay.
And now there are times where I do interrupt and it's hard.
Yes, but you do it. I'm so proud of you.
It's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
And you've gotten over, though, that piece of being so careful with every word that
God, thank you.
say.
I'm so
And I've
so glad
gotten overdoing because there's space there. Let there be space. Let there be silence.
Yes.
There
can be silence. And man, that trying to be so careful about what I said, I would listen back sometimes and it'd be like, could you talk just maybe a little faster? Oh my God, it's so painful.
I'd be like, Pam, shut up, slow it down, stop. I refuse to go back and listen to like the really old videos. I can't hear you.
Oh my God. Oh, you couldn't hear? I get to a certain tone and my microphone cuts it out. So I was saying, just spit it out.
Yes.
Telling myself, just spit it out.
Yes.
Just say it. Just get on with it.
We were so opposite. But we worked it out. And look at us now. Look at us now. We do so much better.
I think we could do a podcast with Nathan and have a 3-way conversation. Yeah. And you know what? If we can't, I'll own up to it.
Yes. Okay. We'll make you wear a dunce cap or something. Just kidding. She won't have to wear one. She'll be fabulous.
Looking
Yes.
around to see if I've got any. I don't. I don't have any hats in here that could be.
So Nathan, we're coming for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be
It'll be
good.
fabulous. We just love him, which is why, well, part of it. That's not all the why. There are many reasons why he's now second chair,
Mhm.
and but that's certainly one of them. That's certainly one of them.
Mhm.
We just adore him. So anyway,
Yeah.
so back
Yeah.
to what was it? Um la 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 la. You just have to be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being prepared,
Plan it. You can't
not
plan
planning,
it. No.
um, being spontaneous, not having expectations.
Yes. And I can totally see my husband right now going, what do you mean you can't plan? He's such a planner. He's a Virgo, everyone. If any of you know Virgos, they have lists and they have plans. Perfect for me though, because I don't do that. He really, really balances me in that way. And it's not because I'm spontaneous. I'm not spontaneous. I'm just not a planner.
So, but
Sort of
he
a
allows,
dichotomy there.
I'm going to guess though that he allows room for movement. He allows room for spontaneity in his plans. Yes? No.
Yes. No, he is what I call intuitive.
Hmm.
He and our youngest son are both, my oldest son and I are both psychic, and that is different from being just plain intuitive.
Hmm.
Both of them, but we're talking about my husband, listen to, it's more of that, you'd say a gut feeling or that kind of thing, that he listens to that. Yeah. So yeah, he is spontaneous, but he's also a very busy guy, and so he has to, you know,
Wants to be efficient.
he wants to be efficient. When we
And
go on vacation,
mhm,
though, he would have something planned for every day, and I said, "This is not this is not a vacation." So now he gets to plan every other day. That's it, and he plans, which really is kind of nice. He plans trips, and I just say, just tell me what I'm supposed to bring. Tell me what the temperature is. What's the weather, so I know
right,
what to bring.
right.
Yes, so but it works for us.
Yeah,
That's
that's
how
great.
we do well together because we're
Hmm.
very different, but it works well. Yeah, I surrender. I surrender.
Perfect.
He does too, believe me. Um,
A lot of surrender in following spirit's plan.
yes, absolutely. There is a lot of that. Just
Hmm.
being in that receiving, breathing. Yes.
Hmm.
So, whew, I might have to do a Fred's meds on this one.
I think
We'll
that's a
see.
brilliant Fred's med.
Yes. And
Hmm.
we'll see what they bring. So, all of you, so I never, I shouldn't say never. When I ask Fred to bring me certain meditations, like I'd like to do one on it, it is a shit show. I can't, that is spontaneous, let me tell you. Fred brings what Fred
Yes.
brings when Fred brings it, and I
Yes.
just have to be available to
Yes.
speak the
Yes.
words. Yes. So when I said that though, I could feel him here. And that was the reason that I said it might be a Fred's meds because
Hmm.
I could feel him. So he's doing something with that. What? I don't know.
Don't know.
We'll find
Can't
out.
wait to find out.
I know. It'll be good.
It will. It'll be good.
I'm thinking this is a good place to stop.
Freezing all of a sudden.
Ah,
Uh, it feels like a good place. Yeah,
yeah. You need a fireplace. You need to turn on your fireplace.
I
Yes.
do. Yes, I do.
All right, everyone. Thank you. And crap, I forgot to open space again. But I need to write myself when I write a note, I remember.
You remember?
Yes.
Well, I forgot to. So,
Sorry, everyone.
I am to blame as well. But we appreciate you showing up. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend.
And we
Um,
do receive all of they call it fan mail. And we're so appreciative. So those of you
yes.
who text us through the listen only
Yep.
apps. We can't respond to you. I'm sorry about that. However,
Yeah.
we do get them, we do read them, and we love everything. So
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
When
It
you
is.
comment
It is fabulous.
on YouTube, we love those equally, and we get to say something back. So,
Yep.
all
Yes,
right,
we do.
our
All
friend,
right.
thank you so much.
Got it.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.